As we first told you yesterday morning, a Winnipeg bowling alley has become certified sensory inclusive. Coronation Bowling Centre has had staff trained to recognize guests with sensory needs. They'll also be offering sensory bags equipped with things like noise-canceling headphones and verbal cue cards. And this morning, we have James Kelm from Inclusion Winnipeg in studio. Thanks for being here.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
We brought you in because we really wanted to broaden the conversation. We've certainly heard of different things happening in Winnipeg. Sobeys offering sensory-friendly shopping nights. This business making their day-to-day operations sensory-friendly. Are you hearing of more initiatives like that?
Well, I think it's great when businesses and public spaces look to just how diverse people can be in their skills and abilities. And when we create spaces that invite more people to be there, then more people have opportunities. So I think it's great that a bowling alley does that, that local businesses take into account that people have different ways that they perceive the environment, and taking that into account really helps a lot of people.
Let's put this into perspective in terms of how far we still need to go as a community in order to make spaces more accessible to everyone. What do you hear from people of some of the challenges that Winnipeggers might face when they go into certain spaces that aren't accessible?
Well, I think environments can be noisy, environments can be busy, and a person who experiences the sensory world in unique ways needs to have others take some time to get to know who they are and what they need, and the more we do that, the more opportunities can be there.
I think a lot of it can come down to education and awareness. We had this conversation earlier that it's not so much necessarily about creating a specific night for specific people, but trying to bring in everybody all the time.
That's right. Yeah, it's definitely not about creating a specific night for a certain group of people. It's about just being aware that spaces for people and the people that are in those spaces have differences, and the more opportunities we can create, the more people that can be there. When a space is created with universal design principles in mind, they're not created to ensure that people who use a mobility device can be there. It's more about creating a space that invites more people to be there, that allows for more people to participate.
Can that be a really alienating thing for people when they find that their needs aren't met and that they can't access spaces? What do you hear from people directly?
Well, even personally, if my son has a birthday party and it's in a space that is sensory friendly, that means he can invite more of his friends. And so, kids with disabilities might feel that they're not able to participate in the same activities that their friends do because of some of the barriers that might be in those environments.
Before we let you go, tell us about some of the work you do at Inclusion Winnipeg.
Okay. Well, at Inclusion Winnipeg, we provide support and advocacy to people with intellectual disabilities, including all the people that care about them, to find spaces in our community to live regular, everyday lives, to experience the same things that those who don't experience disabilities. That's our main role, is to be helpful.